All right, we're back on MornignLine. Barbara McGinnis is with us. We're talking elder law, elder care, and the like. If you'd like to join in the conversation, the number 737-7587. Takis and McGinnis Elder Care Law. Just real quick, give folks a little bit of your background. You have such an interesting background, your expertise.
Oh, thanks. The first part of my professional life, I was a registered nurse and geriatric nurse practitioner. So I spent 23 years as a geriatric nurse practitioner before I went back to law school, sort of, as a midlife student. I spent more time working in long-term care than I've been an attorney, and I've been a practicing attorney since 2010.
You were made for this job because you have that background with what you did before you became an attorney.
It is a good fit. Match. It does help me understand the perspective that families have, what their, obviously I'm interested in what their specific worries are, but I've also walked those shoes, having a parent with dementia and having to go through the long-term experience, the long-term care experience with him, and seeing families for over 20 years have worries and fears about good care. What is good care, and how does care get paid for?
Scary stuff, but there are answers, and that's what she's here for, and that's what they do, she and Tim Takis. I think you guys are among the best in the country at this, because Tim got started originally seeing that this was going to be a realm, and now you two teaming up.
Absolutely.
Let's get to some calls, and the lines are open if you have questions. You see the number on the screen. Let's go to May. Good morning, May.
Yes, good morning, Nick.
Hello.
I have a home here in Tennessee. I bought it 7 years ago. I paid cash for it after I sold another home in another. I was not.
Hold on, Lucy. Are you there? It's breaking up. I mean, I'm not Lucy. May, can you hear us, May? All right, May, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, your phone's breaking up, so you're going to have to keep it stable. If we lose you, you can call back and we'll take you again. Let's see if we have a clear signal. You'll have to start over saying what you were saying.
Okay, let me get another phone.
Okay, that's fine. Just grab that and then see if that's a little clearer. Now that sounded good there.
All right, is that better?
Yeah, that's good. Just don't walk around. Just go ahead and talk to us. What do you got?
Okay. 7 years ago, I bought a home here in Tennessee. I sold one that I had in another state, and I paid cash for my home. At the time, my son and my daughter-in-law were supposed to stay with me and take care of me. Well, that didn't happen. And so now I need to maybe get one of those loans that you get on your house. I don't know what you call it.
A reverse mortgage, are you thinking, or?
Reverse mortgage. Okay. Either that or sell the home so that I can have myself taken care of. I'm 70 now.
Sure.
Well, at the time that I did that, I put my daughter-in-law's name on my deed because they were supposed to take care of me, right? Now I don't know if I can get her name off the deed so that I can do something with the home. She has never paid anything. She's never lived here. Nothing.
Okay, so can she get the name off the deed?
Well, the easiest way and the place to start would be to just ask the daughter-in-law to quitclaim her interest back to May because of the change in circumstance.
Well, she's not going to do that.
She's really? So your daughter-in-law is that awful of a person? Why would she not do that?
They did not agree with the way I wanted to live. They wanted a different lifestyle.
But it's your house, and so you made the mistake of putting her name on it, okay? And so now you want her to come off that, and she won't go along with it when she hasn't put a cent into it?
Correct.
Okay, so if it's a hostile situation, what?
However, I didn't really hear May say she asked.
Okay.
You know, I heard her assume.
Yes, I have asked through other family members that live in another state.
Well, can't your son say, look, I want you to take it off? Is your son siding with his wife?
Yes.
Of course. I don't get that.
Do you know if it was a tenants in common or if it had a right of survivorship? That would make some difference as well. Obviously, she needs an attorney because there may actually be you know, a lawsuit, a pending lawsuit here. May is over the age of...
What kind of lawsuit?
Well,
I mean, she would sue to get out of it. She would sue the daughter-in-law to get her off the.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that can be done. I didn't know May either. That's interesting. Yeah.
So you can try to do that. The judge may of course tell you that it was your bad judgment or bad legal advice. But we do see family members that this happens a lot. People think it's a really good idea to add children to their deed to their home, whether it's to avoid probate at their death, or whether it's to make sure that the state doesn't get it if I ever use Medicaid and I'm fearful of a state recovery. And those issues very rarely outweigh the risk of adding people to the deed to your property, because your home could be, depending on how the deed is worded, could be subject to the other person's creditors. Obviously in a situation where now you're owning a home with someone that you don't even really like any longer, and they're not financially assisting with the upkeep of the home.
So what can she do? So is she able to do a reverse mortgage? She can't with that. Without
most likely she can still get a reverse mortgage, and that's what I started saying a minute ago. She is over the age of 62. Again, looking at how the deed is worded could make a difference and on that.
My name and her name.
Okay, and then you would go to a lender to discuss the reverse mortgage and how much, and that depends a little bit on how much the house is worth, what the equity is there, and she said she paid cash for it, so she has full equity in her home, what she can get out of it.
Okay, and so the lender may ask for the signatures of both though, right? Or
maybe not, because what I've seen is that even with spouses, if one spouse is over the age of 62 and the other spouse is not, it's still possible that you have one being the note holder.
Okay, so it's worth looking. And would you explain? So do you understand the concept, May, of a reverse mortgage and how that works, or?
Well, not really, but I've heard about it on TV. I've never, inquired about it.
Yeah, you would have to actually. There's a federal requirement for counseling, and so there are not just mortgage officers, but you get counseling about what are your costs going to be associated with the reverse mortgage. You're going to pay closing costs. How much are you going to take a lump sum? Are you going to take just an income stream from the home? And sometimes, like off screen, you and I were talking about how do people pay for care, and using a reverse mortgage does fit with some people's lifestyles and goals too, especially if they're trying to stay at home and they have no other sources to pay for the care.
And you'd like to stay at home, I guess, right?
Well, I would like to, but I'm open to selling the home and doing something else, to have myself took care of.
Well, and selling the home, banking the money, investing the money, moving to an assisted living facility, or even an independent care setting where older people just they don't have to worry about house maintenance, meal preparation, grocery shopping. They've got
house maintenance or yard cutting. I would love to get out of.
Yeah, I hear you. A lot of people would do that. All right, so I mean, is this something where she can call you guys more if she's? Because I think some of the stuff, it would be easier to really deal with her right now if we didn't have that issue of her daughter-in-law, right? On the
and. So selling may be difficult if they're joint owners, because then that implies that the daughter-in-law could be getting some of that money.
Well, okay, so maybe that's it. Maybe you work out an agreement where you sell the house, but she gets some of the money. She and your son get some of the money, and then she'd agree to it then if you did that. How much do you think your home's worth?
A couple $100,000.
Okay, yeah. Well,
and while we really do not do real estate law, if she were to call the office, like any time, we would help refer to an attorney in her community that could help her. Another way to find attorneys is going through the Tennessee Bar Association site. Local attorneys, specialists, You know.
All right. Well, May, listen, I hope that helps a little bit. It gives you some of your options on this, and
I hope it serves as a warning to other people that are listening.
Yes, please.
Do not put your children on the deed.
Yeah, listen, and May, thank you for calling. And I think if you work it, it may work out. But I know, you know, at that moment, and when she's thinking it, it's her son and her daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
I understand why she might have done this. And as you said, people will do that. But in retrospect, and Tim's always said the same thing to me.
It's not a good idea.
Don't do it. Just, I don't care how much you love them and how much you think they're. When money gets in the way, you would be surprised how, you know, family members get torn apart. And you would think a mother and a son, and I know there's dysfunctional families, and I'm not saying hers is, but you know, that's just, and I just don't get, you know, it's a happy wife, happy life. I can tell you unequivocally right now, I'm going to do what's right, whether it's my wife or my parents, period.
Yeah.
I'm not siding and doing the wrong thing because my wife wants it or my parents want it. I'm going to do what the right thing is, and if it's her house and she put the money, the right thing is it should be hers.
Right.
But again, you know, some people don't have a spine.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is not to underestimate just the power of a law license, and sometimes just a letter from an attorney to the daughter explaining why she should, or making sure that she understands that she doesn't have any tax issues or exposure by that, and
well, I see what you're saying.
It could probably be worked out.
She's saying it in a nice way, May, but maybe you get a lawyer, like she said, and they can refer you to someone, and it doesn't mean you're going to have to spend a ton of money to get into a lawsuit. But have a nice, nasty letter sent from the lawyer that will make her aware of the fact that you're no longer just asking, you're now getting a lawyer involved. And it's going to cost her some money to hire a lawyer to defend herself if you don't work something out. Sometimes that gets the wheels moving and get her attention that way. We'll take a break. When we come back, if you're on hold, more phone calls coming your way right after this.